The webinar. Good evening. How are you all doing? Welcome to the webinar Hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy in a nutshell. So, my name is Vijay Sai. I'm a life coach, counselor, behavioral trainer, hypnotherapist, and a lot of things. And I have two parts of this webinar till 9 p.m. I'll be talking about the EKAA and EKAA curriculum, what exactly is therapy. Thereafter, I'll be talking about the law of deliberate creation, the law of attraction, and that will be the next part that I'll be speaking. So, to start, can each of you mute your things? I'm muting it till it's coming on. Yeah. So, thank you for coming on a festival day for such a webinar. So before I begin, I would like to tell you how effective is hypnosis. The results of the comparative study by American Health Magazine says that psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud's when people do, there's a 38% recovery after 600 sessions. In behavior therapy, there is 72% recovery after 22 sessions. In hypnotherapy, we have 93% recovery after 6 sessions. What do you mean by recovery? Recovery means from any problem they have, physical, mental, emotional, anything. Money, financial, marital, because we are able to reverse diseases using organ regeneration. We're able to help people do many things, and we have our counselors, our therapists are across the world. So most of our even trainee hypnotherapists, when they submit the 10 cases, the cases will be called submitted only after resolution has happened to the issue. What do you mean by resolution to the issue? The client, suppose the client says, I have a migraine issue. By the end of 6 to 8 sessions, the client should give a testimonial that my migraine issue is gone. And it is quite common for all of us. This is the effectiveness of hypnotherapy. So now, when it comes to legality, the Indian Drugs and Magic Remedy Act of 2002 gave the following classification. Although American Hypnotherapy Association accepted hypnotherapy way back in 1955, British Medical Association, American Medical Association accepted it in 1955, British Medical Association in 1956, but in 2002, in a strangely named act called Drug and Magic Remedy Act, they accepted homeopathy, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and naturopathy. And they said yoga, acupuncture, and hypnotherapy were under consideration. So, what does it mean? Can you practice as a hypnotherapist? Yes, you can. However, you can't call yourself a doctor. You're like one of the other healers, one of the other therapists. You can't call yourself a doctor. That's the only thing. However, abroad, we are recognized in the US, International Medical and Dental Hypnotherapy Association USA, and we are also with Earth European Association of Regression Therapists. Recently, in US, in San Diego, the medical college has accepted our curriculum, and we are training there, and we also got certified in Dubai for a particular course. So ours is an internationally recognized course. Now about our company. Our company started as CHII, California Hypnosis Institute of India. What is CHII? This was the original company founded by Dr. Sunny Satin. Dr. Sunny Satin from IIT Mumbai, Powai, was in California. He studied this wonderful science, wanted to bring it to India. He came to India in 2003, 2002, 2003, and most of the people who now practice hypnotherapy Kapasian and hypnotherapy are all descendants of this great wise master. And he moved on. He started this company, and along with Dr. Yuvraj Kapadia, he moved on to the non-physical in 2006. After which, Dr. Yuvraj Kapadia is the one running this company. It's a Section 25 non-profit company done with the intention of spreading the knowledge of hypnotherapy. It is the first India's ISO certified company, means Indian Standards Organization. It's quality control. Further, so what happened? We were in CHII. We ran it as CHII till 2013. In 2013, we took a decision that people were asking why California and hypnosis and again India. So we made it Ekagra, Karma, Apara, Antara. And the purpose of this institute is to spread the knowledge of hypnotherapy, which is actually spirituality in the garb of scientific training. Because really by level 4, level 5, the whole thing talks only of spirituality in one way or the other, although we are talking about the mind. So to tell you more about this course, we need to understand that our people are active across the world. We want therapists in Dubai, therapists in Netherlands, therapists in US, in UK, everywhere we have. So coming to what is hypnotherapy, let's consider one thing. Let's consider a 45-year-old individual. This 45-year-old individual, what does he want to do? He uses his free will, chooses an empowering thing in life, and he wants to do something. And he wants to start a new business, or achieve financial success, or achieve wonderful relationship with spouse, or become an ideal son, or a parent, or a spouse, or a sibling, or he wants to diet, exercise, reach his ideal weight, or he wants to quit smoking or drinking or a bad habit, or meditate or do yoga and pranayama in the morning. So when the willpower is there, what is stopping him? If this 45-year-old individual wants to do something, he can. And he should easily be able to achieve whatever he wants in health, wealth, relationships, career, habit control, behavior, because he has this thing called willpower. So why can't he do what he chooses to do? Why can't he do? Because what is 45 years old? Ponder about it for a moment. Think about it for a moment. What do you think is 45 years old? The body. Basically, the brain is 45 years old. The brain is the hardware of the computer. Is the software, the mind operating the brain, always 45? We have two minds. The thinking, logical, reasoning mind, the feeling part of the mind, and this only 10%, and the subconscious, which is storing all the information, which is 90% of the mind and 6,000 times more powerful than the conscious. So, the conscious mind of the 45-year-old, the left brain, has made a logical decision. The logical decision is what? I need to lose weight, or I need to get more money, or I need to have a better career, or I need to kick this particular addiction, or I need to do whatever I need to do. However, the bigger part, the more powerful subconscious is not cooperating. How is it not cooperating? What is it which is inside that is stopping the logical mind and the willpower from operating? What is it? There is a virus. What's a virus? A virus or a malware blocking the 45-year-old software. What's a virus? A program, a malware that does not allow the main software to work efficiently, which causes glitches. The three viruses that affect the subconscious mind are the inner child, and henceforth I'll be representing it as an IC. Past life or ancestral memory, we call it as PL. Why am I calling it an ancestral memory? Because Islam doesn't believe in past life, but they do believe in ancestral memory. That's why we are training in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in Muscat. So what happens is, for problems that, there are many kinds of problems. When you give a search word, we get a metaphorical experience. What do you mean by metaphorical experience? An experience that does not belong to this lifetime. If we go through that experience and heal it, the issue resolves. Indians call it past life. Christians may call it a metaphorical experience that is thrown up by the subconscious, like the dreams. In Islam, people who believe in Islam, they call it ancestral memory. We as therapists are not bothered about the nomenclature. We are bothered about working on the client to resolve the problems that the mind throws up. The third virus is called as FE, foreign energy. And what is foreign energy? And what is a past life? What's an inner child? Let's understand more. The inner child is an earlier age of you in this life that believed, felt, and decided. That is counterproductive. PL is an earlier part of you in a different lifetime that believed, felt, and decided something. FE is an energy that is neither your inner child's nor your past lives, but something external that influences you. So we started with the premise that the 45-year-old person wants to achieve something, do something, improve his relationships, kick a habit, start a new habit. He's unable to do because the brain is 45, the mind is not 45, because the mind has all these viruses, or one of these viruses, or definitely the inner child. So how does it work? If you look at it, what does a hypnotherapist do? Let's understand. What is the mechanism of hypnotherapy? The conscious and subconscious mind are all the time together. In a normal waking state, the seesaw, which is the left side, applies. It is sub. Sub means below. Below means, below what? You have zero, sub-zero. Inspector, sub-inspector. Submarine, sublingual, below. Subconscious, below the conscious. So the normal waking state, the subconscious is below, the conscious is above. Slowly, when we start getting into the alpha state or light trance, as we normally get in early in the morning or late in the night, every day when we sleep or we wake up, when we get it, it is like the diagram 2, where we have equal. This is when you talk of the alpha frequency, close to 13 or 14 cycles per second. In hypnosis, what do? We bring down the conscious mind, so naturally the subconscious mind goes up. The diagram 3. So, a hypnotherapist brings up the subconscious mind and gives a search. It's like running a Kaspersky virus or malware search. It searches for the viruses, blocks that are not allowing the 45-year-old to be in charge. And it will lead, when we do the search, to an inner child, or a past life, or a foreign energy, or all three. So what will the hypnotherapist do? He will either clean the program of the virus, quarantine it. All of us know the word quarantine now for the last 6 months. Quarantine it or delete it. It's a case-to-case decision he takes. And so, he will restore the charge, the power, back to the 45-year-old adult. The intent is of all therapy. If you are 45 years old and you have the viruses not allowing you to be 45-year-old, not allowing you to take charge of life to create what you want, the hypnotherapist works and restores the charge, the power, back to the 45-year-old. And now the 45-year-old can now see, he can identify the choices that are there in front of him and choose the most empowering choices. So summary so far is that, taking the case of a 45-year-old who wants to do something, including heal himself, have good health, good money, good relationships, good career, kick a habit, behave differently, he is not able to because he has one of the 3 viruses operating in his mind, the software. The brain is 45 years old. The 3 viruses can be an inner child, or a past life, or can be a foreign energy. What is an inner child? I'll take a long time for an inner child because, as I've written the subtitle, it's a mother of all viruses. The one that cracks your aura and triggers the other viruses and malware. Let's understand the inner child. What's the inner child? Understand this terminology in a therapeutic perspective. The current age of you is the adult. In our example, the 45-year-old. Any age, even a few days before the current age, if stuck, is actually called an inner child. So, when does it get stuck? What makes it get stuck? When you are not feeling the joy, love, and peace, which is your true nature, because it's what you truly are, then you have this getting stuck. How does this work? I'll just show this picture to you. Let's take an analogy of balloon. At birth, the consciousness is like the air inside the balloon. Say, it's 1000 watts of energy, pure Chaitanya or energy. The entire consciousness belonged to you, and you were part of source energy or the energy of your higher self, because you are a spiritual and divine being who's come down to earth for a human experience. And a complete unsullied you with a pure consciousness, which I am quantifying as 1000 watts for simplification, the divine energy, the source energy, without any fragmentation or inner children, is the way we are born. What happens? Slowly, so understand, the entire air outside, the consciousness outside, and the air inside, the Chaitanya, is the same, separated only by the skin of the balloon. The entire air therefore belongs to the balloon and is pure divine consciousness. As the quality of the consciousness is purity, unsullied joy, selfless love and peace, we say a child is God. So, as we grow up, whenever we experience anything other than love, joy and peace, the consciousness fragments and gets stuck in that particular age. It forms a separate pocket of consciousness and it gets frozen at that particular age. It gets frozen at that particular age. And so, what exactly happens? The separate pocket of consciousness stuck in a particular age, in a particular traumatic moment. What's a traumatic moment? Nothing big. Anything that is not love, that is not joy, that is not peace, that is called an inner child. Refer this diagram. So each of this balloon part has now been fragmented. The fragmented consciousness that you see here with multiple inner children, each of them have their own, having a part of the total consciousness, and this is denying the adult the complete consciousness of divine energy. So, look at this diagram. When you and I are born, that's the way we are. Complete, unsullied. You with pure consciousness, because you are divine source energy without any fragmentation or inner children. The right side shows fragmented consciousness with multiple inner children, each of them having a part of the total consciousness. What is this doing? It's denying the adult, the 45-year-old in this case, the complete consciousness or divine energy. So what I've done? I've written 300. So 70% of it is stuck in the inner children. And each inner child has three things. The feeling that happened during the trauma, the conclusion it made during the trauma, and the decision it made during the trauma. The feeling it calls as an emotion, The conclusion it calls as a belief, we call as a belief, and the decision we call as a coping strategy. Let's understand it. So each event or incident where we have lost our joy, love and peace is called an inner child. Each inner child has an individual existence and is stuck in that particular age. It has the feeling, the conclusion, the decision made during the trauma, stored as an emotion, belief, and a coping strategy. So none of us are now living our lives. Yes, you and I are not living our lives. We are living coping strategies based on earlier beliefs and emotions that are affecting us, but we are unaware about them. Inner children have a trapped consciousness. So what happens? The creative part of you, the God part of you, which was 1000 watts when you were born, you were the same God. When people said the child is God, has now been reduced to the 300 watts from the original 1000 watts. The goal of inner child therapy is to get back trapped consciousness of the fragmented parts so that I become as close as possible to my divine consciousness of 1000 watts. The more I collect it, the more potent will become my thought, because I am God. What God wants, God gets in life. The more inner child healing we do, the more adult part we get into. Got it? So, let's look at the line 3. That is feeling, conclusion, decision made during the trauma. So, something happens. I'll give you a simple example. The child comes and tells Mama, Mama, I have a secret. Don't tell anyone, okay? I'll tell you. You know how children's secret, a mother's minds. But don't tell. I won't tell you. Next day, Papa says, I know what happened in school. This is an incident which is traumatic for the child. Feeling betrayal. That's an emotion. Conclusion. Amma cannot be trusted, which becomes the belief. Coping strategy. I will henceforth not share anything with Amma. As simple as this. It's not be anything very big or great. So, understand, the reason an inner child is also formed is because we are not permitted to experience, express and feel. We suppress our emotions without expressing them. During our younger days, we were like Lilliputs of Gulliver's Travels, stranded on an island of giants on whom we completely depended on. So what happened? We knew our survival, our food, our happiness depended on those adults who primarily were teachers, elder siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, teachers. Or some of us even had issues with school bus drivers, servants, attendants, maids, peons, watchmen, security, and the other adults. At that age, their behavior would have traumatized us. They have told us many things. They could have told us, they could have traumatized us. Let's look at some examples. Stop crying. Don't be a crybaby. Don't get angry. 1 second. Piano commitments. Shut up. I will hit you if you speak another word. Arrogant brat. Stupid fellow. Stubborn idiot. Bloated fool. What do you think of yourself? Don't show off. One more word and I'll give you a tight one. Hello, please mute your mics. One more word and I'll give you a tight one. You deserve much more of a slap. I am giving you this consequence, this punishment. Suffer now. You didn't listen to me. As I keep telling you these, suddenly things might keep popping up in your mind. It's okay. Shut your mouth and listen. Don't talk back. I saw a mother telling, shut your mouth and eat. I don't know what she meant. Good for nothing girl. Don't act smart. Don't try that trick on me. If you don't eat, if you don't sleep, I will give you to Gumma. That's in Karnataka. I'll give you to Bhuta. I'll give you to Rakshasa. I'll give you to police. Different cultures, different things. I will call them and tell them you're not listening. They'll put you there for begging. One tight whack will teach you. Bad girl. Dirty girl. Shame, shame, puppy, shame. All the children know your name. Shorty. Monkey. Pig. Donkey. Buffalo. Cattle. You walk like an elephant. You eat like a pig. You can't even write one sentence correctly. Your handwriting is like ant walking on paper. Horrible. Look at your face in the mirror. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Horrible girl. Don't think you are a kid. You are still a kid. You are grown up. Sounds familiar? You must be ashamed of yourself. Look at that cousin, that neighbor, and you are there. You deserve nothing. Let dad come and I'll show you. Come to the principal and I'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget in life. You lost. You are a loser. Cheater. And we have done so much for you. You are an ungrateful wretch. Do you know your nose is crooked? Your hair looks as if it's eaten by a rat. You're so fat, fatso. So thin, skeleton is better than you. You look like a stick. You always stink. Oh, who do you think you are? Maharani? Maharaja? Come down to reality. Why are you wasting your time dreaming all the time? Get to work, you lazy fellow. You're wasting time dreaming. If we had the facilities like you, we would be somewhere else. You are a waste. Be practical. Don't cry. Hurry up. You're always late. You're like a python moving slowly. I've given so many examples because I know even if everyone doesn't attend the EKAA final course, people who are playing the roles of a mother or a father or an uncle or an aunt or an elder brother or a teacher, somebody in care of children, will be able to understand what could have gone through to the people, to the children's mind. And so, this particular thing is to not to make parents here feel guilty. It's to make us understand that we have been insensitive many times. And these are the very things that have created inner children in us. If this webinar is going to help you become better in whatever role you're playing in life, that's all is important. The purpose of this webinar is not just to make people join the training. The purpose of this webinar is to educate on these aspects so that you can start working on yourself if you want to. There are so many ways we can talk as we go along. So what happens? We as children have been trained to suppress, to shut up. And we have to listen to what adults tell us, because we get titles that we covet. What? Good girl, good boy, intelligent boy, smart fellow, keep it up. And this we get only when we shut up and listen to adults. So, we always start seeking validation from people around us as we grow up. We, in order to have approval from adults, started doing whatever they said just to please them, because we also fear the consequences. We need these parts back. Why? To get our manifesting power, our divine power, our authentic consciousness back. Because each of us is God. However, we have built a wall so that we should not feel as the memories are painful. Although we are adults, these inner children affect our beliefs, our thinking, feeling, and have the power of our divinity which is stuck there. We can go on being in denial of these parts without looking at them and pretending that all is well, because these parts that are stuck in us are repressed from conscious memory. What is suppression? What is repression? Suppression is what we do when we do not express. Repression is a defense mechanism done by the subconscious mind so that these painful memories are hidden from our conscious awareness but are still working in the background. It's like the subconscious mind decides to right click and say hide file. That's all. The file is hidden, still in the system. So, understand, in inner child work, you are going to the source of beliefs and repressed feelings, acknowledging them and accepting them without denying them. The purpose? We cannot change history. We can change the consequences of history through deep inner child work and claim parts of ourselves stuck in time, especially in early childhood or during the teenage. In therapy, we are opening the inner child and we relive the event completely. Why? We know we need to bring about a catharsis, a purging. And feeling is healing. Reliving is relieving. All inner child work is done for you to be present 100% in the adult consciousness of the mind of today's age. The more you are present in your adult consciousness of whatever your current age is, easier will be your manifestation, because the God part of you is still alive. And you can choose empowering choices in the current moment with your free will and execute them successfully. What do? We make a client look at the same experience in a new light. from the perspective of a 45-year-old person. So consequently, what are we doing? We are bursting this part of the balloon, integrating it to the main balloon. So, I'll give you some examples of inner children so that you understand more about it. The womb state in a child. The womb state is an important state. When the baby is conceived, the whole consciousness doesn't come. Only a part of the consciousness is, seat is booked. It's like in all our Indian towns and cities, in the public bus, when there's no reservation, private buses that comes, people throw a towel and into the bus from the window. And why do they throw a towel? They are booking that place. In the same way, the place is booked. 4th month, 4th day, the second trimester is when the soul mind visits the womb for the first time. And at that time, whatever is the mother's feelings automatically affects whatever may be the mother's feelings. Many weight issues, especially if a patterned body, start there. For example, what I mean with this? If the mother is in a flight mode during the 4th month, 4th day, when the soul mind visits for the first time, the child will suddenly decide, where will I get my next meal? And so the child will decide, I need to make use of every bit of food that goes in. I should not waste it. So every bit of food, I will use it, let it go into my body. So these are the people who eat very little and suddenly become fat. Even if they eat a little, it directly goes to the wrong parts. So for weight issues, we'll have to look there in the inner child of 4th month, 4th age. So under 4th month, 4th day. So understand, Morris Netherton talked about the 4 things that affect the inner children, the neonatal. When the child was being conceived, did the love or sex happen with joy or with pain? As a matter of fact, or with full passion, full selfless love? Second moment, when the mother discovered she was pregnant, what did she say? Wow, I'm pregnant. Or, oh shit, I'm pregnant. When the mother, third stage, when the mother told the father, I'm carrying, did the father say, oh my God, not now? Or did he say, wow, thank you for the good news? Lastly, when the child was being born, what happened? That is very important. How was the child received? So I'll give you 2 experiences that I've had with clients. A girl comes to me with suicidal ideation. Enough of my life. She's earning about 2 lakhs a month, 2.5 lakhs a month. She says, enough of my life, IT company. Very young, about 26, 27. And when I speak to her, I ask her, something has happened where she feels rejected. So she says, I feel rejected. I feel I'm a burden. I feel nobody wants me. Okay, we are not interested in the story. We are only interested in these things. The belief, the feelings. Because we use that as a search word to come and understand what's happening. So what happened? She was sure I'm going to kill myself. She said, Vijay, don't stop me. I said, wait. You can do what you want. but as a mind scientist, will you give me a chance to just check it out? She said, okay. I said, come on, go ahead. And I put her into trance. You know the seesaw? So I put down the conscious mind. The subconscious mind moved up, and I gave the search. I'll count numbers from 1 to 3. At 3, you'll go to the first time in this lifetime where you felt rejected, where you felt I'm a burden, where you felt nobody wants me. 1, 2, 3. First thoughts, first feelings, first impressions. And off she went. Asked, where are you? She said, I don't know. What do you see? I see nothing. You see nothing because it's dark. Do you hear any sound? Yes. What do you hear? I hear voices. How many voices? 3 voices. This is the way we go. Step by step. To cut a long story short, it is the doctor's voice, mothers and fathers. 5th month of pregnancy, the mother found out it's a 3rd girl child. She's from Bihar. She decided, I don't need the child. They went to the doctor, but the doctor said, 5th month of pregnancy, sorry, we can't do anything. You better keep the child. So the girl says, thank God I'm saved. But I know, just one instance will not form a belief. For a belief to be formed, we have 3 stages. Formation, confirmation, acceptance. Formation belief is written in pencil. Confirmation belief in ball pen. Acceptance belief is etched or carved. And what had got is the formation belief. So I said, the next time in this lifetime, when you felt, I'm rejected, nobody wants me, I'm a burden. 1, 2, 3, now. First thoughts, first feelings, first impressions. And she went. Where are you? I'm in the cradle. What's happening? My mother is rocking the cradle. And what's she saying? What's happening? She's rocking and talking to me and telling, why are you born so dark like your father? Why couldn't you resemble me? She's fine now. But the child, because there's already a formation in a child, the child concludes she doesn't like me. The way I am. I'm not accepted. I'm rejected. I say the next time, child says, I'm hungry. Okay, what's happening? I'm 9 months old. What's happening? I'm crying. You're crying because I'm completely hungry. What's happening? My mother is shouting at me, screaming. Can't you shut up? Can't you see that I'm boiling the milk? What will the neighbor think? Shut up, it's 12 o'clock in the night. What do you feel? I'm such a burden. Why did I want to come here? So what happens, understand? I'll take a digression here. If it had happened once, nothing would have happened. The mind is the best photocopying machine. It will replicate experiences. And by the law of vibration, law of attraction, what it does is, it will make the person vibrate with that frequency, attract people, circumstances and events which will make her feel more rejected. If you ask her at 26 now, how many times have you felt rejected? She'll have at least 100 instances. And life becomes like that. The school drama, she gets rejected. She tries to stop an auto rickshaw, that guy also goes off. Everywhere, her life will be rejection because the formation, confirmation, acceptance has happened. This belief or emotion is now vibrated, and only those experiences happen. One more experience about the neonatal. This girl calls me. She's from Chennai. And when I speak to her, she says, I want an appointment, sir. I said, come. She comes all the way to Bangalore. Those days, there were not many therapists in Chennai. And when she comes, only when I look at her, I think, who's this? Because she looks completely like a boy. Short hair, dressed boyishly. And she says, I'm the girl, and I fix an appointment. I say, okay, come. Yeah, what can I do for you? I'm getting married next month. I said, nice, congratulations. But I hate men. Okay. Yeah, so mentally I thought, thankfully, she's getting healed before the marriage. That guy's stars are good. And she said, I don't know, sir. I've always competed in the men's world. I've always done something to show I'm no less. My father says, you're the boy in my family. And somehow I have a kind of hidden anger towards men. Subconsciously, all men I compete with, and I'm angry with them. I don't know why. Whether it's my boss, whether it's my teacher, if it's a man, I compete. I want to prove I'm no less than you, but I'm angry. I don't know where this anger comes from. Okay. I want to find out, sir. Why do I hate men? Regressed her. She said, I'm being born in a house in Chennai. There's a midwife, there's a grandmother. She says, I'm so happy, they're all holding me, they're so happy, they're celebrating. They says, Lakshmi has come. Now what happens? My grandmother is holding me. What happens? Opening the door of the room. What happens? He's shouting, Ponnu means girl in Tamil. Okay. And from outside I hear three voices of men. Ponnu, oh my God, girl, not again. Why didn't we have a boy? Whose voices are these? Three men. You now get the impression who they are. My father, his brother, and my grandfather. Now let's look at what is the formation, confirmation, acceptance. And what is the feeling, conclusion, and coping strategy. So what do you feel? She didn't feel rejected. I felt angry. I'm feeling angry. Why? My mother, all the women want me, they accept me, and these three people do not want me. Okay. What do you conclude? I hate them, I'll show them. What's the coping strategy? What do you decide? I will compete and show them I am no less than any of you. This is the birth I see. So many kids can go on early childhood. Some of it looks stupid to us. But for the child it happens. Trust versus mistrust, according to Erik Erikson, starts in 0 to 2 years. And I was thinking, how can trust start? Till we saw a case. Mother is in a child, mother is nursing the child, breastfeeding. The doorbell rings. The child is hungry, the mother just kept it to the breast and feeding. Doorbell rings. The mother is alone at home. So she quickly puts the child down on the bed, runs to the door after setting her clothes right, opens the door. It's a courier. The pen is not writing. She takes about a minute or more than that to do that and come back. By then, the child has concluded, I am not important for my mother. I can't trust her. Decision, I need to take care of myself. Why? The child is born helpless. It's born helpless because it completely surrenders and trusts its mother for its survival. When that doesn't happen, then the child has a trust issue for the rest of the life. Because the primary person is also caused a feeling of abandonment also. PAB I see. PAB is passive aggressive behavior. Aggressive behavior, which is passive. Outside it looks like an angel smiling. Inside there's a little devil. And how does it start? It starts when there is an authoritative parent or an adult who does not listen to a no of the child. Do the homework and only then go. Clean up the toys. Now clean up the toys. Yes, mama. As the mama goes, the child does. The child is angry. Mama asks, what? Nothing, mama, nothing. It's secretly angry. And now what does it do? It decides, I cannot confront my mother. I will sabotage my mother. What is sabotage? How terrorists go and keep a bomb under a bridge or the railway track. Nobody knows what it is, but it will blow. That is sabotage. Quietly doing something. The child very soon realizes that he or she is a cynosure, the center of attraction of the parents' lives. And if I do something to myself, then parents will feel upset. So starts a fall, starts an accident, starts illness. In one case where I was working with a child, the inner child of this 12-year-old child told, I am bedwetting because Mama scolded me in front of others. I want to teach her a lesson to wake up in the night. I was shocked. Oh my God. So the PAB, what happens? Mother is gone. Father is gone. Now slowly, I saw one more example. A maths teacher's son failing in maths. A very traditional Hindu family's child purposely doing things of Western culture, knowing very well it will irritate the parents. Purposely telling, I care two hoots about it. He doesn't even realize the problem is PABs. All of us have degrees of PAB. If you and I know what's the right thing to be done, if we don't do, if we are lazy, if we procrastinate, we do have passive aggressive behavior, but not to a big extent. How does it affect us? We self-sabotage our lives. We know what the right things to be done, and we end up choosing the wrong things. And then we regret it. We knew it. These are the people just before the promotion, they fight with the manager. These are the people who know that if I marry this girl, my life will get ruined, they still marry. These are the people, they know I should not do this, they just still do. The heights of self-sabotage starts when they start hitting their head on the wall, cutting their wrist. And the ultimate self-sabotage is what? Suicide. For what? To teach you a lesson, I'll kill myself. I know one person who told me, he's a dentist, gold medalist. He was my EKAA student. When he came, I asked him, what job are you? He said, I don't have a job. I said, but you're a gold medalist. He said, yeah. After I got my job, I went home. My father said, he doesn't have a mother. Finally, you did it. No. Very good. At least now you proved that you are my son. He went and resigned and came. Why? Why did my father tell me that? This is the heights of self-sabotage you can get. So this will require a long time treatment. Now coming to, so understand, how does this mother of the two, how does this become the mother of the other two viruses? Affect us. This inner child becomes a triggering point for the other two viruses, past life and foreign energy. Of the same resonance of frequency gets attracted. How does this actually affect us in real life? And how is EKAA called an integrated system? How does this affect our vibration, attraction and manifestation? How does this affect our body? How are psychosomatic illnesses formed? Understand? Our physical body is a factory, chemical factory, processing factory. Every gland is a factory. To keep a factory running, what do you require? You require power supply. Every factory has a dedicated power supply. So you have the adrenaline gland, you have the Mooladhara chakra. Chakras are spinning turbines that produce electricity. For the Swadhisthana, for the sex glands, your sacral chakra, Swadhisthana. For the pancreas, you have the Manipura chakra or the solar plexus. For the thymus gland, we have the heart chakra or the Anahata. For the thyroid gland, here we have the throat chakra or the Vishuddhi. For the pituitary gland, we have the Agnya or the third eye. For the hypothalamus, not for pineal. Pineal is regulated differently. For the hypothalamus, we have the Sahasrara or the crown chakra. So these chakras have a particular size and they are spinning. What's happening? They are sending energy through the meridians to our body. We have 72,000 meridians in our body. These meridians, in Indian terminology, we call them nadis. In Chinese terminology, we call them meridians, or where the ki or the chi energy flows. So what happens? These are like wires, 72,000. They supply power supply to various parts, and body is fine. Body, what happens is at ease. Body is in order. Body is functional. Unfortunately, these two bodies are connected to astral and causal. Causal means thought, astral means emotion. When we perceive the situation wrongly, it creates an emotion. If the emotion is the emotion of the soul, of the source, love, joy, peace, happiness, the chakras keep spinning correctly. Nothing happens. If the emotions are anything other than source, in a law of attraction term we say out of the vortex, what happens? If the thoughts, if I think, oh my God, what will happen? What will happen to me? What will happen to me? Anxiety, fear. Why did I do it? I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. Why did I do it? Guilt. Oh my God. I did it. I should not have done it. Guilt. How dare he tries to control me? Who is he to control me? Anger. He's trying to control me. I can't do anything about it. Helplessness. Anger and helplessness, same frequency. One this side, one that side. Why is this happening to me? Sadness, grief. I am not good enough. Others are better than I am. Low self-esteem, self-worth issues. Like that. Every thought will create an emotion. Now it is an emotion, energy in motion. We have been trained to suppress. So what happens? It's a wavelength. It's an electromagnetic wave. It now goes to a destination folder. Fear and anxiety will go to the Mooladhara chakra. Guilt will go to Swadhisthana. Helplessness, anger to the Manipura. Grief and sadness to Anahata. Low self-esteem, self-worth to Vishuddhi. And think it's going to the Vishuddhi. Suppression of communication or low self-esteem. The throat chakra. So now what happens? Consequently, depending on the angle it goes, the turbine is also electromagnetic. It will either accelerate it or decelerate it. If it accelerates, the chakra will spin faster, giving more power supply to the factory called the thyroid gland. If it spins slower, there is less power supply going to the thyroid gland. So now the thyroid gland will either produce more thyroxine or less thyroxine, and consequently we call it a name, a hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. What is the summary? The body was at ease, the body was in order, the body was functional. Now the body is no more at ease, no more in order, no more functional. So we call it a dis-ease, disorder, dysfunction. In the Indian terminology, the physical body is called the Annamaya Kosha. The etheric body, energy body is called Pranamaya Kosha. The causal and astral together is called the Manomaya Kosha. So, if I talk of various therapeutic modalities that you and I talk, if you talk of Reiki, pranic healing, Vastu, geopathic stress, Yantra, all these are working on the energy body. Crystals absorb negative energy. Gems enhance positive energy. Talisman, amulets, red thread, white thread, green thread, black thread, nazar, that you keep a dot here. All those are working on the etheric body, etheric energy of the house also. Even if you keep a scarecrow in front of your house, that's also trying to influence the etheric energy should not happen. And astral body, because of the meridians, acupuncture, acupressure, Bach flower remedy, and all these work on the astral body. Affirmations work on the causal body. What works on the brain? NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, where we talk of the neural pathways in the brain. So therefore, in EKAA, what are we doing? We are at integrated clinical hypnotherapy. From level 1 to level 5, we say we are going to use anything to enter the system. The belief we have at EKAA is different strokes for different folks based on what suits them. We don't say one size fits all. We still work entering the system through one of these. And they're going to learn all these from level 1 to level 5. This is how we are completely different from traditional hypnotherapy, which only is talking of the causal and the astral body. So, this is an aura of a person who's anxious, who's stressed, who's upset, who's filled with fear. So what happens? This is how the etheric body, suppose the chakra energy flows through these wires. You all know electromagnetic induction. It creates a magnetic field around you. Electromagnetic field around you. This electromagnetic field around you is called the aura. And basically, law of attraction does not happen at thought level. When you think and when you feel, the thinking and feeling will go to your aura, the chakras. They will get activated and they will cause a vibration, and based on the vibration you have the attraction. Contrast this, the aura of a person who's calm and relaxed, full of love and peace. So you can make out a difference. Even an untrained eye, you can make out who is feeling emotionally positive, who is feeling emotionally negative. And this is how the law of vibration, law of attraction happens. Okay? The next portion. So in EKAA, we work as an integrated clinical hypnotherapy where everything is taught. Level 5 would have chakras and other things. The virus, too. We only talked of an inner child so far, and I told you about how it's an integrated clinical hypnotherapy. The virus, too, is called a past life. The moment there's a fragmentation of the inner child, that resonance can activate what we hypnotherapists call a past life. You and I have lived across spaces and times. In each life, we have had inner children. The dying thought and emotion is like a photograph taken. If you are smiling, that's the photograph. In the last moment you decide to yawn, that's the photograph. So, what did the person conclude or feel at death matters a lot. If that gets triggered, it can hijack the current life. Everything we do, art of living, is to learn art of dying. And I'll give you past life experiences, very quickly, case studies. This guy came to me telling, so this experience, so wealth, this person could not create wealth. How much ever he tries, he has crores of rupees passing through his hands. What does a hypnotherapist do? Regress, root cause. It goes to a life where he was wealthy. He was a prince in one of the large castles in Germany. And this guy was very happy, very rich. He had his wife and child. His cousin was greedy. He took him out to hunt one day, and he and his friends killed him. They left him for dead. He was not dead. He took almost more than 12 hours to die. His dying thoughts were, why did I need this wealth? I lost my child. I lost my wife. And now, this life, conscious mind wants wealth. 10%. Subconscious mind knows wealth equals death. The only agenda of the subconscious mind is to keep you alive. If something has happened at death, it will ensure it won't repeat again. So if you see somebody completely scared of water in such a way, I can't even go in a boat in a small, this one, be sure the person has drowned to death in some lifetime and it's activated. If a person sees the picture of a snake and shudders, a picture of the snake and says, close my eye and I can't see it, be sure in one lifetime he's been killed of snake bite. Case 2 was childbirth. This girl came from Dubai, and the triggering happened when she heard somebody else undergoing a painful delivery. So what happened? This girl has no child. They have tried everything. Body is fine. Gynecologist says you're fine. Andrologist says husband is fine. She's come to Jindal, and she comes here because her sister is a therapist. I give her a root cause. She goes to a lifetime where she is delivering. It's a painful delivery. In this case, it became very embarrassing for me because I was doing it in a new house in my children's bedroom. She started screaming, as if the real delivery going on. And to cut the long story short, she underwent 43 hours of that painful delivery, and she began to faint in that lifetime. The midwife called other people. They said the baby is going to die. Let us push the child out. So they pushed the child out. It was a painful experience. She concluded, never again should I become pregnant. Point number 1. She died at childbirth. Double whammy. Childbirth equals death. How will she get a child now? Weight issues. The person couldn't stop eating. No matter how hard he tries, he cannot start eating. 2 cases I'll tell you. The guy's cases, he had died falling in a pit. Hungry, thirsty, and that life was still, the software was still alive. The dying thoughts were only those. The girl was gang raped in that lifetime. In this lifetime, she doesn't want to be beautiful, because being beautiful will attract that. And so now she puts on fat in all the wrong places. Thyroid issues can be physical issues. In many cases I've seen Many things happening. People have taken poison, stuck there. Each case is unique. For some people, it's a dying conclusion. I'm not good enough. We can never say this is how it's going to be. Now, be careful of one thing. After this webinar, one thing you must stop doing is giving words to people, giving oaths, even for fun. Vows, they work. Girl comes to me, unable to get married. 39. She wants to get married. She meets men, 5 to 6 men she's met. She loves them. They love her. The only thing that happens, they either touch her or hug her or kiss her. The moment that happens, she feels guilty and breaks the relationship. She knows it's abnormal behavior. And I regress. Goes to an undead past life of a Christian nun who has taken an oath of celibacy forever on the Bible. Celibacy forever. Ever be careful. Your soul is forever. Only a body dies. One more person has banana allergy. Why? He's stupidly gone to Kashi. He likes bananas in that lifetime. He's taken a vow of giving up what he likes most, bananas. And this lifetime he likes it, he eats it, he gets rashes all over his body. Because subconscious, hey, your word. So, one affirmation you can tell yourself is, I hereby unwind and take back all the vows and oaths I have given or others have given me. It's okay. Be careful. Even one more person, there are so many things that happen where marriage vows, people are committing suicide together. Young people, I will never leave you. And this lifetime, that vow activates. Things can go wrong. There's no intention. It causes a lot of tension to us. So, the Christian marriage vow is the best. Why is the vow best? It says till death does us apart. The Indian marriage vow, be realistic guys, 7 lifetimes you want the same person, 1 lifetime only we are not able to live properly. Think of how many people you have gone in so many lifetimes towards 7 lifetimes together, 7 lifetimes together. And in this life, when you are happily married, if they appear in your life, there is a ripple. Because there is a resonance that happens of some other lifetime. Curses. Be careful about curses. I forgot to tell you before that, fear of success. Point number 3. So this guy, it's my EKAA level 4 class. He says, I have a yo-yo career. I go up, I fall down. I go up, I fall down. I regress. Off he goes to the life when he's a son of a Greek general. He says, I'm close to the prince. My father is a general. He is 21 when his father dies. The king and the prince make him the general. He is the youngest general of the biggest army, the Greek army. He's delighted. They coronate him. He's surprised and happy. He goes home and celebrates. And that evening there's a party. He comes to celebrate. And when he comes to celebrate, the senior jealous people have actually put poison into his wine. He drinks the wine. He doesn't die immediately. He's slowly dying. He knows he's been poisoned. And he concludes, why did I need success at such a young age? I lost my wife and my child. I want to live. The promising life. So now in this lifetime, the subconscious mind is not allowing him to succeed. Because success equals death. Be careful of curses. You are God. The other person is God. Whenever you curse or bless anyone, it works. Always do things where others will bless you and not curse you. This girl wants to do her 12th standard and get a merit seat in medical. Whatever she does, she's not succeeding. There's always something stopping. And some couple of strange things happen. She comes to me for therapy. And in one lifetime, long ago, it's got triggered now. She's a wife of a rishi, and he's intonating wrongly in the Vedas, and she's correcting him, and he gets angry. He says, don't do it again. She again corrects him because she loves him, she doesn't want him to do wrong. Third time corrects him, and he curses her, and that curse was active now. We had to go to that lifetime, make that guy understand he's dead. The consciousness is stuck there. Make her lifetime understand, oh, this is over. The program is over. It's a past program. Let go. And we had to retrieve the consciousness back from there, releasing the curse. This past life. Next, FE. So before we lose track, let's see where we began. We began saying the 45-year-old person who says free will is unable to achieve what he wants in health, wealth, relationships, etc. is basically coming to become more of the adult. Because what is therapy? 45-year-old to take charge of life and live it in his or her terms and conditions. So where does the hardware come to the picture? Before coming there, the third virus. What is foreign energy? Any energy that is not ours, that is stuck in our space, alive or dead, which always comes in an emotionally charged moment. Our parents, our siblings, our teachers can be stuck in our space when they are alive. A grandmother can be stuck in our space because she's attached positively or negatively. And now that when the grandmother goes, her energy is still stuck with me. And this will cause issues. Many men are forever mama's boys because the mother's energy is still stuck in them. And subconscious is a tape telling them what to do, what not to do, even though they're 55, 60, 70 now. One more thing of foreign energy. You and I have the aura that protects us. It's like a fort. When you feel a negative emotion on a scale of 0 to 10, if you feel about 2 or 3, the aura shakes. Goes above 5, the aura breaks. The aura breaking is akin to you opening the window and putting on the light. What will happen? Insects come in. Did the insects come to harm you? No. They saw the light and came. So, say you are feeling angry and your aura cracks. If there is another guy who's not gone up, who died angry, he can, almost like a random cab allotment, can get sucked into your aura if he's in the vicinity. And that affects people. This is called foreign energy. And one more thing of foreign energy we have seen. People, children, we work with a lot of children with cerebral palsy and other things. There's something called disappearing twin. Most of the people, when the disappearing twin happens, where did the child disappear? Into this guy's brain. That also is a foreign energy. So many things happen that you and I are not aware. That's beyond our eyes. The aura can catch it. And even therapeutically we can find it. Basically our intent is to give the charge back to the 45-year-old, the inner child, the mother, which could have triggered a past life or a foreign energy. Now, where does the hardware come into picture? The hardware comes into picture because nerve cells that fire together, wire together. It becomes a neural pathway. So we have terms like neural plasticity, neurogenesis. Neural pathways can be created with the conscious use of free will after therapy for 21 days. So people come to us. The software changes, the hardware doesn't change. So think of it. Again and again a thing has fired in a particular way because the best automating machine is the brain. Nerve cells fire together, wire together. It creates a trigger, and this trigger is associated with a behavior, say angry, upset. Let's take an example, make it funny. It's a very heavy topic. Let's see that there's a woman, and whenever she saw her mother-in-law, she got angry, upset. And what did she do therefore? She reacted. Now, her mother-in-law has taken a course in one of the ashrams. She's calm, she's changed. But the daughter knows, I know, but I'm not able to change. She's not able to change because the old neural network is there. The moment this triggered, zoom, the path of least resistance, electrochemical energy flows through the brain. Now she wants to change her reaction to a response which is calm, composed, and respectful. So what does she need to do? Imagine this whole thing as a lawn of grass. And so, if I walk on this new path for 3 days, the lawn starts becoming yellow, that part. If I walk on it for 7 days, it starts drying up. If I walk on it for 21 days, this new road is formed. But this road also is there. If I, so understand 3, 7, 21 and 42. If I walk on it for 42 days, the old neural pathway starts going away. And this will become my new behavior. If I continue this for double 84 days or 3 months, what exactly happens is this memory gets into cellular memory. Therefore, for any physical issues, we say 3 to 6 months. This is how the new neural pathway changes the behavior. And if I want to tell you about the last virus, and I've already done this. So with this, basically, the EKAA curriculum originally as a 26-day course, 26 days course physically. But now, after the COVID lockdown started, we are doing the theory modules continuously from level 1 to level 5 online, and practicals will be done later. So level 1 is about basic hypnotherapy, understanding the theory of the mind, understanding the way the people take information. We call it physical suggestibility, emotional suggestibility. Level 2 talks about behavioral resolutions, the regressions, removing fear, phobia, at what age, what happens. Parents who would like to know can read Erik Erikson's Stages of Development. We're not going to do. We'll also learn emotional freedom techniques, handling depression, psychosomatic disorders we start, pain management, relationship issues called hypnodrama. Level 3 is about health and relationships. So, every kind of behavior we can map it to a particular health issue. And in level 3 we also learn the formation, confirmation, acceptance in the child, how to find it. We also learn child hypnosis. And in level 2 we have NLP. In level 3 we have something called as mental bank for manifesting money. And we also have one more thing, handwriting analysis, graphology. Because when the client writes, we need to find out the person's personality. Level 4 is interesting, spiritual hypnosis. You and I are souls. Come down, divine beings come down for a human experience. And understand In this we talk about past life. Past life regression is like an X-ray. Past life therapy is like working on it. We also learn how to bring talent from past lives. There's a banker from Mumbai who gave up her job as a full-time artist now because she regrets to a famous artist in the past. So you can get your skill sets, your resources from the past in the practical thing in level 4. And the next thing you need to understand is you'll be learning how to deal with physical issues, how to deal with emotional issues, mental issues in past life. And the most important thing is LBL, life between life or InterLife. What's it? If Earth is a school, the most important thing in a school would be teachers. The primary relationships we have in our life are our teachers, especially parents, siblings, even our children and spouse. So what happens? They put challenges. It's a practical school. We have come down here to make knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge is, suppose you read how to drive a car. The book is knowledge. When you actually drive the car, it is wisdom. If you know how to make palau, book, then it's knowledge. When you practically attempt to make palau, it's wisdom. So because it's a practical school, we have had contracts with people. What contracts? When I come down, teach me this lesson practically. So I'll ask you a question. If I tell you, I want to learn how to walk on a thorny path without getting hurt. What will you do in my training class if you are my teacher? You will put thorns. I want to walk without falling down on a slippery, soapy floor. What will the practical class contain if you are my teacher? If I ask you that. Slippery, soapy floor. I learned this the hard way. My mother had issues with her. Whatever she did, I used to get angry. I used to get irritated. I had to lose it. But now the anger is gone. Acceptance has come. Because in 2010, when I did my LBL, Life Between Life, with Yuvraj Kapadia, my teacher, I discovered my contract with her was, teach me patience. Opposite. So how will she practically teach me patience? By irritating me and making me learn patience. So thereafter, again, whenever I was getting irritated, I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. The moment I started telling thank you, thank you, thank you, the irritation started going down. She stopped. Her behavior changed. Why? I learned my lesson. So if any of you in any relationship are experiencing anything, the opposite of that is your learning. A negative emotion, whatever feeling, the opposite of that. One girl had come to me recently, one of my colleagues. She's lost her father very young in age and she was very upset and sad and upset and angry also. Why did you leave me? We call the father's energy. And the contract was, teach me independence. How else will the daughter learn independence if the father doesn't go away? I have seen people who have challenged children. Few times it's a foreign energy, few times it's a past life brain injury, but many times it's a soul contract where the mother has told the child, teach me selfless love. How else can the child teach selfless love without behaving that way? So the moment what happens is, you know what? The LBL changes the way you look at life. And you know what Wayne Dyer said? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that becomes true transformation. And you realize, I am God. And whatever is happening in my life, I've asked for it now or I've asked for it in the past. So all is well. And not we assume all is in the well. No, all is well. It's been my thought. Now, with my free will, using my choice and consequence, what will I choose? That's the only thing I have now in my mind. And since the revelation comes, we start taking empowered choices. Level 4, the kind of spiritual reality you feel, the kind of oneness consciousness you feel. We also have something called higher self-talk, which is the tank from where we have come from, which is the source energy which has sent us down to earth. And we learn how to keep ourselves constantly in communion with that. So truly, level 4 will enlighten you in the LBL. And we also learn, therefore, what is surrender? What is creation? Why do we need to create? You can't surrender without creating, because you got to prove that the God in you, you got to validate the God in you by being able to manifest the life you want. And how do you manifest? By your DNA. It's not even the aura. Finally, it's your DNA, the cellular memory. And which changes when you undergo therapy and when you take charge of life. What God wants, God gets. Level 5 is about chakras. Level 5 is about oaths, curses. Level 4 also has removing the foreign energy from the aura. Level 5 has removing the foreign energy from the body. There are also programmed energies that are there we work with. And in level 5 we work with RRT on the body, rhythmic relaxation technique. That is again therapeutic. I told you we enter our system through anywhere. And the most important thing of level 5 is organ regeneration. Any organ in the body can be regenerated. When you go and take treatment from a doctor, what are you doing? The printout has come wrong. So taken a whitener and corrected it. But the next printout also comes wrong. So your body cells are changing every 3 to 6 months. When the body cells are changing every 3 to 6 months, why is your body not healing? It's not healing because we are working only on the hard copy, not on the soft copy. When you work on the soft copy, that changes the next hard copy that comes in 3 to 6 months. And we have done reversal of thyroid. I recently helped a person who used to get asthma, allergies, that guy's thing is gone. I did a surrogate organ regeneration for a person in Malaysia for the heart thing, and he's healed now. He's become very, very good now. Perfect. He sent me that the doctor has sent 3D scan shows I'm fine. My teacher, Yuvraj Kapadia, in one of the demos in the class, has worked on deafness. In one ear was fine, the other ear was deaf. He talked to that ear. By the end of the therapy, the other ear became all right. By the end of the therapy, because you make the miracles happen. And he's also reversed cancer. The only challenge we face is for physical issues, we know many times it's psychosomatic. When a woman who's creative gets into a dead-end job, her ovary starts creating, you get a PCOD, the sweetness of your life goes away, your body starts having more issues in digesting the sweetness and you become diabetic. Heart blocks happen when you feel rejection. When you're unable to take a decision and in a dilemma, that's the time when migraine starts. Your money issues, L1, L2, pain. You have emotional hurts, calf muscles. You're worried about the past, right shoulder. You're worried about the future, left shoulder. We therapists have a map, prognosis map. So when a client tells me, My knee is paining. We know something is there about change. When we say something happened to my soles, we know it's something about ground reality. The way we think we have been trained is different. And we learn all this in metaphysics of diseases in level 5. So there are many more things which I can't tell because I just have a short webinar. We want to just do a self-help course, understanding the subconscious mind, understanding self-hypnosis, understanding chakras, understanding the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of deliberate creation. What is the law of deliberate creation? Understand, if you are God, what God wants, God gets. The moment, there are only 3 steps in creation. The moment you think of something, that is the step 1. I need this. There's contrast provided in the world. And the contrast will want you to desire something, anything big or small, doesn't matter. What you're able to think is there in the palace of your possibilities. You can get it. Step 2 is not your job. The source, the higher self, the vortex, Abrahamics calls it, vibrationally it's already created. Step 3 is our job. Step 1 is always happening. The job is to get it. It's like you won a lottery, it's come to the bank, RBI. You now need to give the proof that it is you and get the money. How will you get it? In the law of deliberate creation, we say, the more you get into the consciousness of your soul, which is love and joy and peace, automatically the things you want will manifest in your life. I have been following this from the last 23 years. Once upon a time, 23 years ago, when I saw Dr. Bharat Chandra or Pradeep Agarwal, I said, I want to be a hypnotherapist like them, and I became. I visualized the Mitsubishi Pajero when I was in 2003 to come. My wife has visualized getting into a Kannada television serial she's gotten. The house I'm staying in, I visualized and got. My children also have learned this. So whatever you want, it's like you go to the bank manager, you need to give the proof. The ID card. The ID card is the emotion. Because you get whatever you focus on. And you get whatever you push against, because it is not a no world, it's always a yes world. Whatever you think will happen, whether you want it or not. If you read the nuisance paper every day, whether you want it or not, that emotion is activated in your vibration, you will start attracting people, circumstances and events that will come based on that vibration. If you regularly watch the television, the poison, and watch more of crime stories and the sad things, your vibration is activated that way. So the universe does not understand your words. It only understands your vibration. And also, it's not a no world. There is no dark switch in the room. There's only a light switch. And so, we tell you how to deliberately create by using your willpower, the power of your focused consciousness, which is magnetic, and the power of your emotions, which is electric. The thoughts are magnetic, emotions are electric. Thoughts are potential energy, emotions are kinetic energy, it's a movement. Together it becomes an electromagnetic vibration. And you know, energy can never be created nor destroyed. One form of energy can be converted into other. And this thought energy will help you create. When people do creative visualization, what are you doing? You use a repeated compaction of thought to what you want. You're creating a future reality, believing it's already there, being happy and joining there. The moment you go there, mentally, it will come to you. So if you wanted something, a good health, good relationship, money, success, then change your thinking, change the feeling. Because if you want it, it shall happen. You're God. But you got to get out of the way. Therefore, Abraham Hicks changed the word from law of deliberate creation to law of allowing. What does it mean? Well-being, money, health, ease is our way of life. It's like the rain showering and you put the vessel upside down. Can it fill? No. The universe is like the ocean. You get based on the size of the vessels, which is your belief about yourself. So there are two kinds. If you think that the source is like a tank, there's a pipe there to you, the block can happen at the tank. Your belief about money. Money is the root of all evil. Relationships are bad based on your experience from childhood or past lives. Other thing, there may be block in the tap. I think I don't deserve it. I am not good enough. In therapy, we consciously focus and remove this. In the law of attraction,